Hello. He- Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Barbara Ehrentreu, and I am a writer. Uh, I am a retired teacher. I am a poet. I have two novels and two poetry books, and I am very happy and honored to be here. And thank you very much to Saraswati Paswala for giving me this opportunity. I'm thrilled to be an honored guest, and thank you so much. Um, uh, yes, I have been. I'm also the regional director of motivational strips and West, and I am. Oh, I don't know. I do a lot of stuff. I I am currently working on my third, well, fourth novel, and I am also very involved with poetry. And just today, I wrote two poems. One of them I wrote for International Women's Day, and I would like to recite that for you now. It's called Celebrating Women on International Women's Day. Celebrating Women on International Women's Day. How can we take one day to celebrate women? Think of all the facets of a woman and devote each day to a different one, and still we would run into the next year, for each woman is filled with the capacity to do anything. We are soft and curvy and meant to melt into men, yet we are able to take on the world after feeding our family and making up our faces, slipping into our suits of power to face the tasks beyond the home. We are strong, our strength forged from the rigors of needing to be on our own so much. We fight the silent battles that men almost never face, of cleaning and cooking and tending to our. The outside world bombards us with its needs as well, and we must sit in rooms dominated by male presence, aware that we usually know more, but are forced to be in the background as men expound their theories. We are the peaceful ones, mostly, and able to conquer the tremulous fears of our little ones and comfort the ones who need it most. We are the ones who think of our neighbors all the time and cherish the friendship of our fellow sisters. We led the battle to fight for our rights when they were not given to us, and continue to fight for the equality of wages and respect. Though we are half the world, we are not given our dues. Though we are celebrated by some in words, very few celebrate us in deeds, and it has been so for centuries. We are the women, and we are the power. Our power comes from the knowledge we are needed. Without us, there would be no world. We keep it going with our choice to continue to serve, and we constantly search for new ways to contribute to society, striving always to forge our own paths in this male-dominated place. Women are loving and kind, gentle and forgiving, but do not cross us, for then we become tigers and lions and roar our displeasure. Men underestimate us, for they see us as gentle, thinking for them weak. Yet we are strong and will attack any who wrong us. We fight for right and protect our children and family when needed. Now we march to war when necessary, leaving our families to fight for our country. We are everything you can imagine and more, from the construction worker to the nurse, from the bartender to the dancer, from the teacher to the student, from the stockbroker to the advertising agent, from the car salesperson to the butcher. We are everything, and we do it in makeup and heels sometimes. Women are the core of our lives. We are the warmth and the comfort you seek when times are bad, and the soul of a woman is ready to be filled with the sadness around her. She takes it all in with patience and grace and never lets it show on her face. When she faces the outside, she is a calm, collected person. but inside she is boiling and seething or sad and lonely. Being a woman is not an easy thing. From birth, we are patterned to be a certain way and to be pleasing to men, though we are told to be our own person and not let anything faze us. Today, a woman can be anything, even though men are still there, and it is harder to climb that ladder. Still, we do climb and reach for our true destiny. And that was one poem. And I'm going to read now something from my own book, which is uh, called True Reflection. So hold on for a second. I'm going to get it. This is my poem. You'll probably forget me, my, my poetry book. You'll probably forget me living with him without Hal. And in it is this poem, which I wrote, which I think will reflect another part of women that so many face. We truly all face it. It's called it's called True Reflections. Mirror, mirror on the wall. As a girl, I didn't believe the image as I viewed my visage, the reflection and what I expect, not what I expected as much as I saw myself. I didn't see me. I didn't trust the vision of that person, sometimes feeling as if I were outside of myself, looking at this body, always judging it to be lacking. The fact was plain, the face was too plain, and the smile too wide. My backside too large, and breasts too small. And since I never saw the real me, I never knew the real girl who stares back. For I believe this girl, too fat, too ugly, too flat chested, unlike Snow White's wicked stepmother, mirror, mirror on the wall. Mine always answered, not you, and never you. So I walked through the life with this image, and then the world discovered me, a naive teen who would saunter past store windows, afraid to look at herself. This deluded girl who wondered why suddenly men were yelling out of car windows, entreating her attention, whistling as she passed, wanted to place herself into a paper bag to hide from the unwanted attention, sudden attention, wanted to take cover in her covers and crawl under blankets to escape the peeling of her psyche's skin. Under the microscope of the light of the collection of mirrors in the eyes of unknown men who saw a different image. When she stared again at the familiar girl, the flat surface of the mirror revealing only the same imperfections she saw all the time. She wondered if her mind's eye were clouded by the sad thoughts conjured each day, contemplating the reason for this distortion, the contrast between her brain's message and the reality of this new blown reflection in strangers' eyes, and still not trusting the platitudes of her parents. She placed it all inside of her, never believing her mirror until a young man sauntered into her life. And when she saw her true image in the mirror of his eyes, she embraced the glittering glow reflecting in her own. In that moment, she became the vision of her dreams. and no longer needed the mirror, for she had the truth in the sharp-eyed gaze of her hazel-eyed love. And that was Mirror, Mirror. And I wrote that because of how I felt. And one other, I think, would be good to talk about because it's something that uh, happens to women um, when they have a family. Um, it's kind of something that you forget about yourself. And so I call this self portrait. She smiles like a young Mona Lisa with her hair shaped by Roman hairdressers, wearing a tiny pink t shirt, standing in the middle of a Roman street, looking straight ahead, the expression tailored for her lover, pointing the camera. Before the deluge of age pounced on her shores and babies softened her belly, before she became a blonde to cover the gray, peeking too many times between the brown curly strands. Years later, she flashes her smile, open as a Kansas prairie. No one sees the pain underneath, masked by years of pretending, reminds herself she is a wife and mother, really. The days when she walked down those cobblestone streets wanting this. Now she is fury wrapped in cashmere, a whipped cream lion, roaring into an abyss, vulnerable as a baby's skin, loyal to a fault, who wishes these strangers would crawl into her brain and see the reality of her life. And that's kind of what happens to a woman when she has children and she's no longer that person. And this is called I Close My Eyes. I close my eyes and see you as a toddler, short legs flying down the concrete sidewalk. I close my eyes and see you in kindergarten, bright eyes, smiling, holding hands with Jose, whose 5-year-old heart belonged to you. I close my eyes and see you at 12, falling off that horse, breaking your nose, and months later, trussed in plaster cast from head to toe from your operation. I close my eyes and see you graduate high school, already a depression veteran, but on your path. I close my eyes and see you the last time you were happy, laughing with your friends. I close my eyes and see my daughter grown. And that was, I close my eyes. And um, let me see what else. I guess I hate to do this, but I think I have to read the poem that everybody likes to hear. So I will read that poem, and it actually won several awards, and it's called it actually won a festival award from the Mega AOF Festival as best poem. So I'll read this to you. My thoughts turn to you. I don't think of you often, except when I do. A glimpse of a Klondike bar reminds me how we used to buy those for you, sugar-free. And the memory brings tears as if a violet mist had suddenly formed in front of my eyes. Other memories slide in, pushing this one away. Your smile, a beacon, reminding me of sunrises we caught together, the sky brightening as purple clouds tinged with orange, and the sun peeked over the horizon, my sleepy eyes wanting the darkness to stay for a few more hours so we could slip into bed. And now I skip the sunrises and the mornings when your voice would be telling me current events as you went about your routines, and I force myself to wake and join you sometimes so I could feel the energy you emoted. Or on days when I remained half asleep, you cooking eggs for yourself, the smell remaining as a reminder of your presence, the pan and your utensils in the sink left as remnants of your lonely repast. And now I sleep through sunrises and wake to the middle of the day when morning is over. No smells of eggs loiter, and thoughts of you are not present, except when I look around the room and remember each day you are not here. And so the day begins as sunlight fills the bedroom, and I wish to slide under covers and sleep until memories of your face and your voice no longer flood my head, and the stark reminders of your loss are not around my space. And though I kid myself into believing I can accept you are gone, what I would give for the feel of your bearded face beneath my hand and the brush of your lips on my cheek. And that was my thoughts turned to you. And I think I'm almost done. I think I'd like to read one more poem. And that one is, let's see which one I want to read. Um, okay, that would be good. This one, Winging Toward Eternity. I think I read this on the webinar and people liked it, so I'll read it again. Winging Toward Eternity. If only the rain could wash away the tears and pain shed for so long, the salt has caked upon my cheeks, and the taste of you is a remembered flavor, fading as the years go by, but the memory lingers, a pleasure never forgotten. And I remember the years we watched the parched earth drink of the summer rain in a country we were only borrowing for a few months, and whose pink golden sunsets remain in my eyes even to this day as you stood with me as the rain vanished and the setting sun coated the scenery with its rosy essence, a sumptuous feast for our heat-seared bodies as a cool breeze flicked over our skin. We vowed to come back, but we never returned to that place that lives in my memory as a magical adventure, and the sights and aromas of the streets linger too, reminder of a time when we were enough. You were always the explorer, and I content to walk at your side, comforted by your presence and willing to see the new places, to sample the exciting and tantalizing accoutrements of each one, secure that you would be there always to forge the path, never realizing life could rain upon us, and instead of a peaceful sunset at the end of the day, there would be a series of storms, and finally a whirlwind created by a disastrous tornado rolling through our life and capturing you inside, the one force we had not considered. At least I hadn't thought of you disappearing without a trace, only memories left to fill the void. The rain of life came pouring onto us, and you were not to survive as the thunder and lightning ate away at you until you were only a shell and finally disappeared as if you were the riverbank slipping away with the force of the water. But you had passion and fire, and all of that should have sufficed, except the foundation had crumbled, and you could not be saved. And quietly you were absorbed by the overwhelming vastness of the sea, as your soul, it is hoped, winged upward toward eternity. And that place that I'm talking about is India. I visited India a long, long time ago, and I was there in New Delhi and loved the sunsets and put it into my poem. My husband is gone almost 7 years. It'll be 7 years in May, but I'm happy to share this with you, and thank you so much, Saraswati. I think my time is up. Um, Thank you so much. Bye.